guys, and welcome back to askNK. Today we're taking a look at Townscaper. Townscaper is an app that you can download on Steam. Right now there's an update to it, and of course it now converts it from a casual app that you can use to a potential cool tool that 3D artists can leverage off and do some amazing things. So within the time we talked about this tool, we mentioned that you can actually use it for making towns, because that is what it is used for. So you can go ahead and click, and then you can create something like that, and click and click and click and click and click and click, and you create amazing things. And moving around this is very easy. We explained all of this, you know, just with your left mouse button, click and drag, and you can go around it. And of course, if you proceed to use the mouse wheel, you can zoom in, zoom out, and this is extremely lovely. So you can do a lot of cool things with this stuff, and it's very well designed in such a way that once you start lacing things together, you can create some very interesting stuff. So like in this case, if we move forward and you notice we're creating that, and if we go over here and choose to create something like this, you notice that happens, and you can even make some crazy mixtures with this. So let's say we want to create this, that, and we can add some more stuff, and right around here, if we right click, you can see that we've made that. But enough with this. What is the new stuff? The new thing that you can do with this beautiful tool now is you can actually export it. So if you go over to the settings, you can choose to take some snapshots if you want. You can do all of these things, but then you would notice that we have export.obj. So this simply means that you can now export this from here and load it into any 3D app of choice. Meanwhile, before we talk about export, most of you guys might be thinking about the colors here, and it simply means that you can select any color that you want and you can create stuff of those colors. So you can choose to say you want to make something like this, something like this, something like that, and yeah, then you can mix match these things to get the most out of it. So we can go in and add 1, 2 very colorful stuff, and you can see what this looks like. At any point in time you would like to delete anything, just right click and you can get rid of that. And if you click and click, you can merge 2 different places together and get some very interesting thing. So once you're done and you're ready to export this masterpiece of yours, all you need to do is now go over to this section, export, and you can export this as an OBJ file. So with the object simply exported, once you go over to the folder which you have this thing exported, you'll notice that we have the file, which is the OBJ file, then we have the material library, and then we have a color, or you know, like a texture, which the library is supposed to reference and feed into the OBJ. So if we take a look at what we have in Blender, you can see that we have the file directly in Blender looking pretty, and you can notice like some of these cool birds are the birds that you would notice right around here. So you can see them. They also came for the ride, but these birds seems to be working with some sort of particle system, which simply means that they don't get animated. All right, they don't get animated outside the tool, so you will not be able to get these things as Alembic files. It doesn't work like that. You will not be able to get them. But right here you can see that they're living, breathing, but they are not animated. So what about the textures? Now before I talk about the textures, let's see what we can get in Maya. If you fire this up in Maya, you'll notice that you're getting exactly the same thing that you have in Blender. You'll notice we have the sections for the windows, and by all means you can use these as background images or background objects to fill in several blank spaces when you're creating a particular scene. And if you actually go inwards, or maybe go maybe you make a close-up like this, you can rarely tell once you're done feeding the appropriate textures across. You can rarely tell that this is a Townscaper. But there is something that doesn't work, and I think it makes sense to explain that to you guys. If we switch over, regardless of any of this app, and we choose to look at the texture seems to be slightly broken. It's broken in the sense that if we look at it from this point, you can see that these textures are sort of messed up. So in this case, you might have to retexture this. So the heavy lifting, which is making the model themselves, have been done, but you might have to retexture this, and this is what it is at this point. Now, if you want to look at these things within the UV section, of course you can also switch over and go over to your UV editing, and you will see that the walls are not properly done in some sense. So you can see what they look like, and you can see some textures flying around, and that is just one of the things that is more like caveat right now that you need to consider. And this happens on, you know, on both apps. So if you also go over to Maya, for example, and you turn this on, you can also see these things in full glare. Another cool update to this is Townscaper is now available for iOS devices. So just in case you're working with an iPad or an iPhone, you will be able to see this on the App Store and you can download it. This comes with a price, which means you have to pay to get it and also work with it. And I believe it's very similar to what you have with the desktop app. I've not been able to try this one. And for sure, this is also available for Android. So right now I'm using the Samsung Dex so that you guys can see what it looks like. And you can notice that there is the Townscaper, which comes with a price, which I believe is the official one. And for sure, there is another one that I don't really know who actually made this, but I did go ahead, download it and test it out. And pretty much it looks like what you will be getting with either a previous version of Townscaper for Android or the present version. I have no idea because I haven't tested the original version. So I did go ahead, download it, tested it, and it looks pretty cool. You can create stuff. The same thing you can do with the desktop app is exactly what you can do with this other app that doesn't seem to be from the original guys, but I haven't seen any option of exporting stuff, which means that you can just simply casually, you know, have fun with this tool and work with it. So that is more like it. For those who would like to get this, I mean, if you're into creating things like so, you want to create some skyline buildings that you would just throw in there, or maybe you want to create something and you want to rapidly make these things, you don't really care about the textures because you can work your way up with this one, then Townscaper is a tool that you should consider checking out. And of course, I think this is also available for Nintendo Switch. So just in case, you know, you're working with that sort of tool as well, you might want to consider looking at that. And officially, you can get this on Steam and just, you know, have fun working with it. I get to see that in most cases, game artists and level designers might also find this interesting. I also think maybe concept designers will also find this one very interesting because they can just roughly get what they want, layer it on the background, and proceed to do some very cool things with it. The Townscaper tool is here, looking pretty. And for sure, for those who've been wondering about, you know, how can we rapidly create something that we can use as a generic tool to just get certain things happening, I guess a tool like this will come full circle and you would have fun working with it. And that's more like it. Of course, I would like to know what you guys think about this particular tool in the comment section. And for sure, tell me, would you want to see some more tools like this? If you guys would like me to talk more about some tools that are cross-platform, please put that in the comment section and I will try my best to access those things and share them with you guys. Tell me what you think about this one in the comment section. And of course, if you like this video or you learned something from this, you can go ahead and give a like and don't forget to share with a friend. And if you're new here, it's going to be amazing for you to hit the subscribe button and also turn on the notifications so that you don't miss next video or the next update. And until I see you guys in the next one, peace.